All right, so the woman that you're looking at is, I don't know if she's like a rapper, but she's like a cultural icon. Nowadays, you have these social media figures that are just famous for no particular reason, which I've never really understood. If you're going to be famous for something, be able to sing, be able to dance, be able to act, be able to bring some type of talent to the table. But in modern day black culture, you really don't have to have talent. All you got to be is ratchet. All you got to do is date a rapper and fight and cuss and be vulgar. That brings us to the woman that you're looking at on the screen. This is a rapper's, I guess, well, they don't get married. I can't say wife. That's something about modern day black culture. Nobody believes in marriage anymore. Everybody's got baby daddies. Everybody's got baby mamas. It's my baby mama, which I hate that term. If I ever get a girl pregnant and I happen not to be married, it's gonna be my child's mother, okay? Or at least I'm gonna get married because I don't believe in that out of wedlock birth nonsense, okay? But she's the baby mama of famed rapper Blueface, and as you can see, he's got all the tattoos. Just absolutely sickening. So we're talking about Chrisean Rock because Chrisean Rock has become a cultural icon. And at this point, she's not even like a real person. She's like a walking minstrel show. She's like the walking epitome of what's wrong with a good, significant portion of black women, where they're not celebrated by their educational accomplishments. They're not celebrated based on how great of mothers they are. They're not celebrated based on good positive qualities. They're celebrated based on this. Let's look at this, okay? This is her with her child at the BET Awards twerking. As you can see, almost 20,000 likes on that. And I can't even get 10 likes on my videos. I'm ashamed of y'all for that. Give me a like. Here she is again with the baby, which we're going to talk about the baby later. This has 25,000 likes. And as you can see in this picture, she has a missing tooth. And you may say, why does Chrisean Rock have a missing tooth, woke progressive? Well, she got a missing tooth fighting some other black woman over this dude. And a lot of black women will see someone like him and hear his vulgar lyrics, how he, raps about killing other black men, how he raps about selling drugs and all type of degeneracy. And they'll say, ooh, he fine with all them face tattoos. And just that alone, I can end the video because just based on that alone, that tells you that in a culture where someone who looks like this, he's celebrated and not immediately escorted to the nearest mental ward or to the nearest prison. That's a messed up culture where a grown ass man can walk around with face paintings like a little 3-year-old. Hey, look at my face. You did that kind of stuff when I was 6 years old. You go to the carnival. You have some nice white lady paint elephants and shit all over your face. This is a grown ass man. And Chrisean Rock, while pregnant, fought a woman to the point where she lost a tooth over this man. Can we get it back up? Here we go. Over this man. Over this thug. But it's being celebrated. I came across a few posts on X, formerly known as Twitter. Look at how these black women talking. One thing about Chrisean Rock, she don't talk too much. That's celebration. The most educated women on the planet. And I'm not saying this to bash black women. I'm saying this to highlight what's wrong. And later we'll talk about the consequences of behaving like Chrisean Rock. But look at this black woman. One thing about Chrisean, she don't talk too much. All she does is fight. Here's another one. She not talking to me like, once again, she was so quiet. I don't know what she means by that. Let's find another one. A thread of my favorite Chrisean Rock moments. And this video, which I can't play on YouTube, is just a thread of Chrisean Rock twerking while pregnant, fighting while pregnant, doing the whole baddies treatment. I talked about the show Baddies about a week ago. The show Baddies is not a show highlighting the achievements and the positivity of black women. It's a show where literally the more ignorant, the more stupid, the more ratchet, the more vulgar, the more sexualized a woman behaves, the more she's celebrated. What kind of upside down, screwed up culture is this? Seriously, this is her dancing on Sexy Red. I made a video about Sexy Red yesterday. These are two, literally, rather than laughing at each other, rather than being cultural laughing stocks, this is what we choose to celebrate. What the fuck? And so I'm not just saying all this just to attack one woman, because obviously this is an epidemic. This problem, this issue, goes far beyond Chrisean Rock. I'm making this video for the kids, because the kids are the ones who have to grow up in households with mothers like Chrisean, with mothers where they don't know if this mother's gonna cook dinner. Well, she's probably not gonna cook dinner. They take pride in, I don't cook, I don't clean. Remember in that song WAP a few years ago, what did Cardi B say? She said, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still got a ring. They don't cook, they don't clean, but they fuck, they fight, they fuck different men, they fight different women. But the children suffer as a result. This is her baby. You notice something about this baby? Just look at the baby real hard. You see how one eye looking one way, the other eye looking and I'm not making fun of come on now. I'm not making fun of the baby, okay? This is not the baby. Look, the fact that the baby's ill-informed is not his fault. We have a culture where the children are suffering, where they got to come out the womb with one eye looking one way, the other eye looking the other way. They can't even cry right. They got to cry backwards, because Chrisean Rock decided to smoke weed throughout her pregnancy, to drink throughout her pregnancy, to twerk on stage. You know, and a lot of people say, what's wrong with twerking while you pregnant? You know that ain't good for a baby. You bouncing around the baby. The baby's already drunk. The baby's already high on marijuana and all type of cocaine and pills that you're taking. Then you just bouncing the baby head around. Bounce, 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 bounce. You know, a baby is supposed to cry normal. We've all heard a newborn baby cry. How does a newborn baby cry? It goes, yeah. That's how a newborn baby cries. Chrisean Rock baby came out, that retarded baby came out crying backwards. The baby, I'm not making fun of the baby. There's literally video of the baby crying backwards. She was so messed up on alcohol, so messed up on marijuana, so messed up on popping the variety of pills that she was popping, that the baby came out all ill-informed. Is this the kind of culture that we're going to defend? You know, you can say, oh, well, come on, the baby, it ain't the baby's fault. I'm not saying it's the baby's fault. I'm saying it's the bitch-ass mama's fault for not being, and it's your fault. It's, yes, you. But I didn't make her drink. I know you didn't make her drink, but you're not calling it out. You as a black person, you have no problem with the show Baddies. You listen to Sexy Red. You'll pay for a subscription every month just so you can look at the show Baddies. You are responsible for this, because she wouldn't be doing it if people like you weren't supporting it. If people like you weren't liking her Instagram post. Poor baby. Look at the baby. You can tell the baby ain't right there. Head all sideways. Lord, and I feel bad. You know, like I said, I'm not making fun of the baby. You know, what is it that our men can't be leaders? What is it that our men have to be like Blueface? And I think, you know, a lot of the reasons why men are like this is, yeah, degeneracy for the sake of degeneracy is part of it. But a lot of it comes down to, a lot of men like to be gangsters because they think that's what the women like. Why is that what the women like? I truly don't know. I truly do not understand it. But recently, Chrisean Rock, you know, she was at a church, and I couldn't find a video of it, but there were different reports that she went to church and she's trying to change her ways. And I truly hope she does and becomes a force of good. I truly hope she does. I'm not making this video to make fun of her. I'm making this video, like I said, to highlight this is how disgusting and this is how bad our culture is. This is not just about Chrisean Rock. This is about millions of black women throughout America that date thugs, that sleep with thugs, that have babies with thugs, baby daddies, and become baby mamas with thugs, and go out and fight, put it on Facebook Live. You have other black women who may not participate in it, but they consume it. They consume it. They like it. They give it credence. I'm making this video to call upon the black community to let's reevaluate our standards. Let's stop blaming white people, because white people, it's not white people causing this. Let's stop talking about the boogeyman of Donald Trump, even though I don't like Donald Trump. Well, it's not about Donald Trump. Let's stop blaming Donald Trump and the Republicans when this type of behavior has nothing to do with Donald Trump and the Republicans. This is all on us. And until we can be honest about that, until we can look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, we've got something drastically messed up and we need to make radical changes to fix it, the children are going to suffer as a result. The children are going to come out looking two different ways. And it's no need to wonder, why is my baby looking two different ways? Well, your baby looking two different ways because you was drunk. Why is my baby crying backwards, Woke? Don't ask Woke why your baby crying backwards. You know why that baby crying backwards. You know why that motherfucker crying backwards. Nonetheless, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And remember to like, subscribe, share. And as always, stay woke.